You learn from them and you improve. And the informal, economy in Kampala is thriving. I was impressed with the hustle and bustle everyone was, involved in. And, I think that uh, is a very good sign, and it's a very good model where people can learn at a very minimal cost. You're not, they're not investing a lot of money and failing fast and hard. They're using very small capital with very limited time frames. They learn, they improve, they move on to the next step.
Tell me, you've been in India, you were born in India, we see so many Indians thriving on the African market. Is it in every Indian to be a business person, to be an entrepreneur?
It is not, but Indians prefer to do business than to be employed. And it is most, and you'll see that Indians also do business, and Chinese also do business in Africa, even in Kigali. And an Indian businessman does not come to Africa, to fail. He comes here with a plan. He comes here with mentorship. If he's new in the country, he will talk to the people who have been here long enough, who are in their industry, and ask them, what should I do? How should I approach my business? A methodology. Do I start small? Do I start big? How do I do? And that helps us mitigate the risk of failure. And it's not only in the Indian culture, it's also in the Chinese culture or the Japanese culture. The whole of East does not believe that I will do it myself and succeed. Yes, there are a few who will do that, but vast majority of us need somebody to guide us.
I know you love talking to people, and that you see that most you must have interacted with so many founders. What is that difference you found between Africans starting or Rwandans who are starting and where you're coming from in India? Uh, the failure rate which you spoke about, what do you find as a motivation?
I, at Norscan, I must have spoken to around 15, 20, founders so far. I've just been here for 2 months. It's early days for me. Uh, One of the biggest mistakes I see them making is this notion that, I have a business plan and I'll make it happen. Yes, a business plan is well and good, but on a business plan that is come out of your brain that doesn't have feedback from your customers or from clients is no business plan. It is bound to fail. Just because you have got an idea and you want to force it onto your clients, it's not going to happen. Your clients also you need to have offered some services to your clients and got some feedback from them to be able to tailor your service to their needs. There needs to be a mechanism for you to then say, okay, I'm targeting, let's say I'm targeting agricultural experts, people who are growing spices or chilies in Rwanda. You think, the chili farmer needs this solution. You come up with an app, you come up with a website, you come up with a solution. It may not work in the field unless you have inputs from the farmers. What is their actual need? Understanding your customer, that needs to be priority, not getting your product or your app right.
And force it on them.
Yes.
I think what entrepreneurs are doing today is because there is a technology called ChatGPT gives you an idea. The idea sounds good to you, and so you want to execute it. And then to the people, they do not see how it is urgent for them to be involved.
Yeah. Even marketing, even simple things. I came across a clearing and forwarding agent. His name is Joroge, and he introduces me like this and says, "My name is Joroge. I am a CEO of this and this company, and we are based here." Blah blah blah. I said, "Joroge, stop it. Tell me what you do. Who for and why are you different? He had to scratch his head to give me an answer. He then said, okay, I can clear your containers on the port in 2 days compared to 20 days. I said, start with that, Joroge. People will not remember your name. They'll not remember your company's name. They'll not remember your location where you're based, but they'll remember that you can solve their problem of clearing a container at the port in 2 days and compared to 20 days. This is a small soundbite that will be more useful to him than saying I am a CEO. I've been in business for so many years. I've done this and I've done that, and I've no. That doesn't. You need to identify a problem that your industry, your customers have, and the problem is that customers want their containers as soon as possible. You're giving them that solution, and you're starting with that. People will remember that.
It's time to talk this morning about 70 minutes or to 9 o'clock. We're going to take a break and then come back. I'm speaking to Harish. He is so very passionate about people succeeding doing the business. He will tell us exactly what he does in Rwanda because he says it's 2 months, which is access to capital. Capital access remains a huge, huge challenge for businesses in Africa. Now, the question is how can African entrepreneurs rethink financing beyond the traditional bank loan or the Western style venture capital?
A very good question. And for every, because money is very expensive in Africa, you're talking about 15, 20%, and even that availability is limited. Even paying those prices, that you have to sweat day and night to fulfill those interest rates, it's not available to everyone. It's available. Availability is sketchy. So, for simple, I'll give you a simple example. If you are making pencils, and you don't want to be dependent on the markets, then every pencil that you make needs to have a built-in profit. So that, let's say you are saying 25% profit on every pencil. For every 4 pencils that you make, you'll be able to make one for free. That is a more sustainable model than relying on capital markets, relying on venture capital. If you build your profit into your product or your service, then you don't need any investment. Okay, I'm saying not all businesses can sustain it. Startups and other ventures need capital. Uh, as I said, interest rates are so high, then you need investment capital coming into venture capitals or other capitals. But again, they will all, they will all want some measure of control. They would impose a mentor, to supervise your business or something. Or when I first started a startup in London, the funding came with a condition, and the condition was that you will have to use this business mentor to help you, in the first 6 months of your business. And that actually helped, because there were many things that I was not good at. Just because you are good at, designing a software or designing a app does not make you a good marketeer, does not make you a good salesman, does not make you a good people manager. And these are all skills that you have to learn on the job. You're not going to start when you're perfect. You have to start, and be good at it, on the job. And I see a lot of youngsters say that my product needs to be perfect, my service needs to be perfect, and that they're never going to kick off. They're never going to launch, and that attitude cannot work for Africans.
You spoke about price, where an entrepreneur has to create a product and within the pricing, they have to factor in their profit.
Yes.
Africans are price sensitive. Sometimes, as businesses, we find ourselves having to devalue the product or the service because you want to have the momentum of customers walking in, and then they can become the testimony and attract other customers. Is that the right way to
It
approach
is,
things?
but I face this problem a lot. Every entrepreneur I have spoken to is very price conscious, and he says that his customers are price conscious. I don't agree with it. There is a misconception or a misguide over here. I've flown in Air Rwanda. Air Rwanda has business class, first class, and economy class. There are customers who are using first class and economy class. So there are people who are paying those premium prices. So not all customers are suited for you or your business. If you are targeting people with premium prices, then you will attract premium customers. Uh, and if let's say I have a colleague here who used to sell cars. He was a car salesman. Car salesman is seen as a low grade sales job. But again, he gave me this experience where a customer would come to him and say, "Oh, how much discount are you going to get?" And he would cut his commission to bare minimum or zero to please that customer to achieve that sale. At the end of the day, because the customer is able to bring them down in price, they've won, and the sale becomes a secondary subject. So they've lost interest in the sale. The haggling was the became their motive or their win. And if you engage in discounting, then you're devaluing your own service or your own product. People don't realize that by you know there are fixed prices shops all over the world. India used to be a very bad, and it used to have a culture of haggling. It has changed. India has adapted fixed price policies. Why can't Africa do the same?
Who is fixing the prices? Is that the government, the private businesses, or every individual chooses to say
No,
this is the way to go?
it's mostly business led. Government led initiatives. I don't like bureaucratic systems. They are very inefficient. The government should not get into the business of business. They should remain in the business of governance. I don't like governments getting into business through parastatals or any other mechanism. They should govern well, and Rwanda is very well governed. It is visible in the road infrastructure, in the internet and the electricity availability. It is the mobility, ease of mobility. Everyone who comes here gets a 30-day visa, no questions asked, and no fees required. Registering a business is free of cost, and it happens in a day. These are great, visible signs of good governance. That's what they should focus on, not on fixing prices. Okay, there are some commodities that are necessary for survival. Those things, yes, but
Like transport and electricity.
it is quite transport is relatively cheap, and so is electricity in Rwanda. I come from London, and London has the highest electricity price in the West. You're talking about electricity per unit costing around 40, 50 pence. It's unaffordable, and that's the reason why many billionaires are leaving London and going to Dubai and Singapore and everywhere else. I'm no different. I didn't go to Singapore or Dubai. I came to Rwanda because I fell in love with Rwanda. I came here for 5 days and decided that I'll establish a business over here.
What does an African centered business model actually look like in practice if we were to achieve it? There is the Indian way of doing things, there is the Western way of doing things, there is the Arab way of doing things. What would an African centered business model look like in practice? Any examples from Rwanda or the comment that happens by you?
Yeah, I think in the electric mobility, the model that Amazon and Espiro have adapted, I like the Espiro model far greater than any other model that is available in Kigali, and it is mainly because to reduce the barrier to entry, he has eliminated the cost of the battery. He is taking on the responsibility of the battery and the charging infrastructure, and leasing it out. The bike used to cost around 1200 USD. It now costs 750 USD. So it's nearly 500 USD less, which allows more border drivers to adapt that. And his business model is based on he's making revenue from selling you the border, is making revenue from selling you the battery charging infrastructure, which is a subscription model as well as a pay as you go model. And but I still believe that they could improve on it. I see border drivers going up and down, looking for customers. This, door to door, everybody has a mobile phone. What we do in Uber in London, it's a door to door service. I press a button on my phone, and Uber knows exactly where I am. The vehicle comes, picks me up, and drops me at my destination. That you know the electric bikes have a modem. They have a GPS on the batteries. They may also have a GPS on the bike, and some drivers already have a GPS on their mobile phone. So it's easy to connect the customer, and that could be another revenue model for the electric bikes. Where the driver doesn't have to look for the customer finds the driver through their phone.
Interesting. Harish, because of time, allow me to just drive you into something that you're doing. So you came from London to Rwanda, 2 days, 6 days. You're saying, I think I need to start a business here. What kind of business really interested you to start in Rwanda and why?
It's mostly around how to help businesses grow. I've seen that what helps you grow to 100,000 USD is not going to help you to reach a million USD. You have to have a different operating system, and what has worked for you for 100K is not going to work for a million K, a million USD, and most African entrepreneurs get stuck at this imaginary ceilings, or if they reach 100,000, they don't know what to do, and that's a problem that is pandemic on the continent. That's why you see Indian and Chinese entrepreneurs coming here and thriving. Is because your local entrepreneurs are not growing, fast enough or big enough, and that's a problem that I'm trying to solve, and also provide mentoring so that the infant mortality rate of businesses reduce. Because even if the entrepreneur doesn't appreciate me, the investors and their parents who invested in that entrepreneur will bless me.
So where you sitting in Kigali, you open up an office. Where you sitting and where do people find you for this kind of?
Yeah, I'm based in Norsken, Kigali. It's downtown. It's a big startup hub, and but I'm marketing myself and sharing a lot of my content online, so on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's not hard to find me. Just remember the name. Yeah, it's B2A systems.
B2A
Systems. Yeah.
Interesting. Look out for B2A systems on Instagram, on X, and on YouTube, and you'll find out what Harish is doing in mentoring entrepreneurs around the world. I'd like to appreciate you so much, Harish, for making the time to be here today. I know it's our first episode, and I'm looking forward to so many other episodes in the future where we create engaging content for entrepreneurs in Rwanda and beyond.
And it was a pleasure for me as well, Jose. Thank you. when we moved away from that to mobilized to ICE engines, maybe 120 years back, the first car was a 10 horsepower car. You know, the most carriages used to be, one hose or two hose, or maybe if it is a very fast one, it would be four hoses. So, and the first car was a 10 horsepower, chariot.
Yeah. As of now, it sounds like no one is going in a 10 horsepower car.
Yeah, but today you and I are driving 300 plus horsepowers.
Yeah.
Not even an emperor could imagine that.
Yeah.
100 years back.
Even the Pharaoh is like now. It's like wow. I think the Pharaoh had at least 15 horses.
But even if you look at Moses' story or whatever stories, the pharaohs used to have only one horse or two horses on a chariot.
Yeah, and they felt so powerful.
Yeah. And but again, we can get a 300 horsepower, banger for no money or very little money. Yeah.
And people still despise the 300 horsepower.
Yeah, but the car, what we were going back to is that the car revolutionized how humans live. Our cities are now car centric. Every building, every street, every city, every supermarket has to accommodate 4 cars. When the car was introduced, there were no roads. It was introduced, in the early 20th century, when we had 2 world wars, and even then, it flourished and it provided so much value. And because of the car industry, the petroleum industry flourished, the road, the logistic, infrastructure industries, the motorways, the bridges, all this got developed just because of the car. So it created more jobs than it destroyed. Yes, some horse and cart jobs were destroyed, but the car created a lot more opportunities. The same way, I think AI is going to create a lot more opportunities. Yes, it will destroy a few, and it will also enable. I think it will create more millionaires and billionaires than the internet did, than social media did, than anything else has done in the past.
Throughout the entire revolution.
Because it is a huge enabler. It is a very powerful tool, and whoever despises it, whoever becomes keeps the Luddite mentality of I'm not going to adapt new technologies. I'm going to stay in my like the Amishans in America that still live as if they were like when they arrived in America 300, 400 years back. Their youngsters are not going to adapt that lifestyle.
So do you think, because you have this condition where it has become very current in universities and every education system, that children start using AI in answering their exams, their assignments, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
There was a time when calculators were forbidden in my classroom.
Yeah.
Then it became normal. The same thing is going to happen with AI. At the moment, it may be forbidden,
but it's going to be adopted.
Technological curves accelerate with time. AI is getting is growing exponentially, and you're looking up a hockey stick. ChatGTP, when it launched, it managed over 1 million subscribers in less than 1 day, or I think 2 days, something like that. It set a world record. And every other technology that is going to be at the moment, we are sitting at Norscan, and yesterday we had an event, where Norscan founders came here, and one of the guys complained that Norscan is only investing in anything AI based. And it is true. A lot of money is, capital is going towards AI based solutions. But again, we also have to say that AI is just another better version of software. So it will become universally available, it will become universally used.
Mm.
And businesses will need to adapt, even in Africa. And Africa has an opportunity to leapfrog.
Mm.
It could utilize AI as a way to arbitrage its
Yeah.
lack of development.
Mm.
It could leapfrog into growth,
Mm.
into prosperity, into progress,
Mm.
because it's a much powerful tool than anything that came previously.
Yeah, because
You
we
know.
have seen growth in the Eastern markets, India, China. We've seen it in Europe with UK, with France, and now we saw it in the US. Now, do you think that whole momentum is going to transfer to Africa, or
Africa is a laggard. It always adapts things much
Right.
slowly than everyone else. But I think Rwanda is setting a different example. It has adapted. It was the first one to allow the zipline, delivery system, drone delivery system. It is now the first one to license, drone taxis.
Yeah.
It may be piloting,
electric vehicles?
electric vehicles and electric mobility, bikes, and also maybe autonomous, testing facilities or something.
Yeah.
So the countries that have good governance, that have, are welcoming new technologies and new ideas,
Yeah, and have a great ease for business.
yeah, will excel faster than anyone else.
Mm.
The days of saying that technology is corrupting our youth and is doing this, yes, it does that,
Yeah.
but it also produces a lot of good.
Yeah.
If an idle mind has nothing else to do but to look at screen, then obviously it is going to become a devil's workshop.
Yeah. Yeah. So talking about good governance,
Mhm.
we have Rwanda is a good example to good governance, but we still have examples of youth and children who want to go outside the country because they think there is more opportunities. What's your advice to them?
I just spoke to somebody in London, where I come from, and London has expelled nearly 40,000 Indian youths that went to London for opportunities, have had to go back to India because there isn't much work.
Yeah.
In UK. The economy is slumping, and it's not just an isolated case of UK. It's just the whole of Europe.
Mm.
In Germany, the car industry is collapsing.
Mm.
The German car makers are not able to compete against the Chinese and Tesla.
Yeah.
The electric mobility is going to it's going to be the
Take over the car industry.
yeah, and it's going to be the similar thing as the Nokia and the smartphone. The revolution. Nokia, BlackBerry, and Motorola dominated the analog phone. When iPhone was launched in 2006 or 2007, Nokia had been awarded the best business award.
Mm.
Where is it today?
Non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize that the smartphone was not just a phone. It was a computer with a phone.
Yeah.
Today, I remember when I used to go on holiday, I used to have a camcorder to do the videos. I used to have a camera to take the snaps, and I used to have a dictaphone, a diary, many things. A torch and a alarm clock and a watch. Now no watch, no alarm clock, no nothing.
Everything is in one single device.
In one single device. So BlackBerry and all of them, they underestimated it. And that's the same revolution that's happening in the mobility sector. And okay, an iPhone is maybe on average, a smartphone is on average $200 USD. A car, we're talking about 20,000-30,000 USD.
Yeah.
And if you look at the global car market, car population, you're talking about around 2 billion
Yeah.
vehicles need to be switched over to electric and autonomous. And there was a time in London, the black cabs used to dominate the taxi. And black cabs used to charge on average per mile, £6.
Yeah.
When Uber came, it brought it down to £2.
Yes.
And now, when a robo-taxi comes, it will come down to 20 pence. The cost of mobility is going down with every generation.
Yeah.
And it is mainly because of technological revolution. And the same thing, today, if you want, there is no better time to start a business today than today. You can do a lot of the things. You don't need no secretary. ChatGPT can become your secretary. It can be a typist. It can be many things.
Yeah.
It can be a designer. It can be a graphic designer. It can be a marketing arm, or it can be a sales arm, or many things. And a lot of it is free.
Yeah.
Gmail is free. Google Maps is free.
Yeah.
ChatGPT
It's free.
is free. A lot of design tools are free. A lot of marketing tools are free.
Yeah. Social media.
Social media is free. And it may not remain free forever.
Yeah.
Wake up, boys and girls. This is the best time to start any business you want to start. You can leverage all these technologies to enable you to grow your business, scale your business, and become a unicorn of Africa. Africa has very few unicorns compared to the rest of the world. Like in Sweden, yesterday, the speakers yesterday said that Sweden started its its technological revolution with introducing home computers, making it cheap for every citizen in Sweden to own and operate a computer.
Yeah.
Africa doesn't need that because we have this now.
Yeah, we already have that.
Yeah, this has your computer.
Yeah.
And it is far more powerful than any other computer that Sweden could have given, in the 1990s.
Yeah. And I found out that I've been in marketing for a while, and I found that in the history of the world, it has never been easier to reach more people at the same time for your business. It has never been easier to advertise as to many people, many countries. As in traditional marketing, you could only market to the people in the area because you had the radio, the billboards,
or magazines. Yeah, which had limited circulations, newspapers which had limited circulations. Now we are talking here, people could be signing up from all over the world.
Yeah. And it had to be paid. And all of a sudden, you can reach more people for free.
The setup we have today could only be afforded by a huge BBC type studio.
Yeah.
Today, you and I can do it with very little.
The phone you have in your hands is better than the camera Hollywood was using 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their movies are bigger than any other thing.
Yeah, and TikTok live, live shopping. 2026 will have a lot of new trends, and a lot of these technologies are getting mature. They're becoming more accessible, and for any business, if you want to differentiate yourself, you want to reach out more customers apart from the customers that pass by your shop, then you would need to resort to social media marketing, internet marketing, email marketing, whatever marketing that allows you to scale or to reach out to many people with a click of a button or with one effort. Now, for example, this recording, it's gone live. We will also have a recording. We will create reels out of it. We will create short form videos out of it. This content could be, sweated in many ways. I remember I being advertising for my, ceiling cleaning company in London, where, to advertise in facilities management magazine, it cost me £6,000, and it had a circulation of less than 10,000 people, 10,000 magazines.
Yeah.
You know, compared to that, what I'm doing here is
Cost
pennies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a lot more resources available to businessmen today than ever in history. People can only understand things on contrast. So let's do a contrast. If I look at my own family, my grandfather, traveled extensively in India because he was a contractor and whatnot, but he had never traveled outside India. He only traveled once to come to see us in Nairobi. Yeah. And compared to that, my father has traveled, maybe 4-5 continents. Compared to, three continents. Compared to my father, I have traveled 5 continents. Maybe over 40 or 50 countries. And my daughters will travel
even
far more.
And also their kids will travel much farther, even space.
Yeah. And why? Why is this happening? It is because the cost of mobility. Technology is allowing cost of mobility to come down. And with robotaxi, however people resist robotaxi, it is gonna come. And it is going to save, on average, somebody, in UK or USA, around 5,000 to 6,000 USD. And it's so convenient. I just have to press a button here. The taxi will know and come and know where I'm standing. It will greet me and say, Mr. Dabasia, I'll get in. It will drop me to my destination at a fraction of a cost. And most people don't realize that driving is an unpaid job. Kevin, when you drive, who pays you?
No one. It's literally you get to get stuck in traffic, and after that you get to park it for the whole day and then pick it up in the evening. So
it's one of the most underutilized assets.
Yeah.
And it is one of the second biggest, most expensive, asset that we all own after our homes. So,
do you think owning a car is an act of status, or just you need it for?
Even in, I know the statistics of UK, but even in Rwanda, 90% of the journeys in a car is one occupant. A car that can carry 6 people
carries one person.
Carries one person. It's a 2-ton, metal piece of metal that has to be dragged to carry one person. And he only weighs 1 kg, maybe 100 kg.
The average.
So the border structure that you have in this country, where a 50 kg border carries 200 kg. That's much more that's much more efficient. I think more of us need to use the borders. Okay, you don't get protection from wind and rain and whatnot, but over here there is no winter. So there isn't that greater need for cars.
I mean, if you think about it, the bikes are much more efficient by cars, but you get more status when you drive a cool car. And
of course, if you can afford it, fine. It is a luxury that only a few can afford in Africa. So let's limit it to that. Not every African should aspire. And okay, there is no harm in aspiring for things, but that should not become the norm. And I think new forms of technology, new forms of transport will change people's ideas of status and things like that. And I got rid of my cars in UK. Soon after in COVID period.
Because they were just sitting.
Nobody was going nowhere. What was the car doing? It was just depreciating. Just accumulating rust. I got rid of it. And London has a very good network of public transport, buses, trains, whatnot. And if I needed to travel somewhere very fast, then I would hire an Uber.
Yeah. Mm.
And I asked my daughters to learn driving. They said, "Dad, why?"
Why do we have to drive now? Yeah. Of course, there is Uber.
There are so many options,
Mm.
and something similar needs to happen in Rwanda.
Yeah, I think for the viewers watching, I would say if they want any similar type of Uber or any other ride sharing apps, we already have them. We have Rapid, we have Move, although the costs are still being.
But also, I see a lot of, there is a huge opportunity if there is some view
In the mobility
in the
space.
mobility space. Even the big players like Amazon and Aspiro,
Yeah.
they need to, at the moment they are making money from the bikes,
Yeah.
they are making money from battery charging.
Mm.
They could also make money by connecting the drivers to the customers.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple fix.
Yeah.
Ego and whoever, it's ridiculously
Bad.
inefficient, bad
Mhm.
service.
Yeah.
And if some of these players, or if not, a third party can introduce this
Can do it.
and it's a very simple task. And you may even be able to get it, off the shelf
Mm.
and just market it.
Yeah.
There may be somebody who has created this software or this program for another country.
Yeah.
You can license it over here
Mm.
and start running it.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of motorbike guys who are always moving around.
I looked at the
fashion.
statistics.
Mm.
60% of your vehicles are two-wheelers.
Yeah. Mm.
And the vehicle registration includes tractors, forklifts, cranes, trucks, everything.
Yeah.
Over 50, nearly 60% of the vehicle population is two-wheelers.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Rwanda traffic is not that chaotic.
Yeah.
If these two-wheelers did not exist,
Yeah.
there will be no space. All the roads will just become parking spaces.
Yeah. Nothing will move.
Move.
Yeah. So you've worked with a lot of clients in Rwanda, a lot of big and small, medium businesses. What would you say is a pattern that you see with all these businesses that is the biggest challenge for them?
I'm based in Nosken, and in Nosken, a lot of the entrepreneurs, their focus is on getting financing, funds. And I think very few will qualify for it. And the pursuit is also futile. Instead of that, if they come up with a service or a product that they could sell profitably to the market and generate revenues that way, they would be far ahead. So this dependency on external funding, using other people's money to burn, to acquire clients or acquire, viewers or members or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that model may work in the West, but I don't think it should. It can work here. And if a young person wants to go into business and thinks that I'm going to start a business and do a startup and then acquire funding, it's a very hard, arduous, and a demotivating scenario. Instead, if I was making maybe this, or let's a simple item like a pencil, and every pencil I was making, I was selling it at 50% markup. Then the more I produce, the more profits I'm making. So every two pencils I produce, I can produce one for free.
Because you can increase the production without increasing the cost.
Yes. And every doubling of production equates to 25% reduction in cost.
Yeah.
That's the right slow in manufacturing.
Mm.
So, if it doubled and kept doubling and doubling, it only takes around, 13 or 14 doublings to go 1000x.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the business owners, once again, if you have a business idea or you have a business already in operation, I want you to see the link in the comments that is pinned. You can book a 30-minute call with Harish Dabasia to examine if your business is ready to grow or still needs structuring. So I want you to go ahead and click the link that is pinned in the comments so that you can book a 30-minute call with Harish Dabasia. And for more information, you need to understand that the link will expire in only 24 hours. It's done deliberately so that we can limit the quality of the people that we are accepting. So click the link that is pinned in the comments so that you can book the call. So another question.
Regarding the AI thing, let me go back to it.
Yeah.
AI can do a lot of things, but it cannot listen to people. It cannot smile at people. It cannot make eye contact with people.
Yeah.
These human traits will
Can
never
come
be
back.
replaced. Yeah? Stop fearing the technological revolution. It is going to happen whether you fear it or not. Embrace it. And enhance your human qualities of connecting with people, listening to them, understanding them, smiling more, making more eye contact. Even in Norscan here, everybody is, working at busy doing things. Nobody is connecting. Even in the common areas, the coffee shop, the common restaurant kitchen, everybody is in their mugs. But nobody's connecting, and you are in a hub. You're in a business hub, and you don't connect. How are you going to get business?
Business has always been about people.
Yes. What is a company? It's just a group of people that have come together to provide a service or a product. If you can't connect with people, then you're not going to be able to do any sales or marketing.
Yeah. Would you say this has come up as an idea of the Western way of doing business, where I say you can do it all yourself?
Yeah. One thing I've noticed in the interactions here is that the Africans have wholeheartedly adapted the Western ideology, Western religion, Western mindset, and this notion that I can do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody can do it all. I became a millionaire by using other people's money.
Yeah.
I borrowed heavily for my property investments. Using banks' money. And what is banks' money? It's individual savers' money that I borrowed. Again, no man is an island. We all are interdependent. And society, countries, economies work for people and by people. You need to improve your people skills if you want to improve your business. Simple things. Clarify your message. Say what you do, who for, and why you're different. I'll give you an example of a clearing and forwarding agent that I came across. His name is Joroge. This is how he introduces himself. He says that my name is Joroge. I am a CEO of this company and I'm based in this location. I said, Joroge, stop it. Tell me what you do, who for, and why are you different. And he had to scratch his head. He came up with something that that I could work with, and this is how it went. And he said that I can clear somebody's container from the port in 2 days compared to 20 days. I said, start with that. And what is the benefit of it to the customer? And the benefit is that it allows the business owner to take their goods to market and turn it into cash 18 days earlier. So that's a much more, that's a soundbite that, people will remember. Even if they don't need a clearing and forwarding agent, if they have somebody who they know that needs it, they'll recommend Cherokee. Just because of his clarity of message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's human. Okay. All businesses are human dependent. People do business with people. And one mistake I see very often African businesses do is that they want to sell too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And jumping to selling. Okay, you bought this jumper, Kevin.
Yeah.
I bought this, jacket. I bought this phone. Yeah. We all like to buy things, but we don't like to be sold to.
Yeah.
If somebody says buy this now,
Now I'm uninterested in that.